Ben,
What's up, Ed?
we're back.
Yes, we are. And
As you
we're
can see, we have him. Yes.
Me, where's the
He's
camera?
back.
Hey, there it is.
There's the cam. Hey.
Where's
Hello.
your Gundam set today?
I'm talking about something I actually know this time.
Alright.
So
Okay.
I got a lot of things to say.
Well, we were
Fantastic.
gonna talk about Gundam, the movie, the live action movie that time, but
Yeah, nothing's out yet. That's the thing.
That's been postponed. We have one of our, I think our third guest back on the show, Remus.
Hey, what's up?
He has decided to grace us with approximately 3% of his physical collectibles presented on the desk here.
Actually, not wrong. I got a lot of PS4 games at home.
3%.
Yeah, so like if 50% of it are Gundam, the remaining of it are games and books and
Bubble tea cups.
Bubble tea cups, yeah, exactly.
Bubble tea
That's
cups.
what I was gonna say. We are of two minds right here,
Yes.
right? So today's episode is going to be carried by him, in fact.
I play a lot of VNs, which is the topic today, if I'm not wrong.
So Remus, instead
Yes.
of giving everyone a abbreviation, what does VN stand for?
Okay, VNs are visual novels. They can also be known as, with other names such as dating sims, or not technically correct, eroge, galge. Those are just
Those are-
subsections
yes.
of visual novels.
Yes.
Not everything's
Generally,
eroge.
visual novels are a type of game, although some people have issues with that word, where it's a story with sound, optional, and text. So it's just basically a book that you play as a game.
It's an
Yeah.
interactive book.
Interactive book.
Mm.
And even in some of them, the interactivity is optional.
So Ben,
Yes.
can you play a VN on a Kindle?
I mean, I think so. There have been interactive books, technically not visual novels because there's no visual element.
Okay,
but if you
Remus.
add visions,
Yes.
visual.
Is it theoretically possible or by engineering possible to play VNs on a Kindle?
Early predecessor of VNs is actually choose your own adventure books. So yes, but it won't feel the same.
Kind of sucks.
It's a Kindle.
It's a Kindle. Kindle doesn't have much space.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah, it's not for that purpose.
Inferior technology. What can I say, right?
Alright, let's begin this off right. Is Zog a visual novel?
Not really.
I'm just kidding.
Theoretically, visual novels, like, a lot of things can technically be visual novels, but one of the unofficial rules is that generally it must have an anime styling. Like, that's what people generally regard as a VN. Even Western VNs have a very anime-esque visual styling compared to like other stuff.
Wait, I beg your pardon, but
Mm.
I've not exactly seen a lot of like Western VNs. Could you give an example that doesn't involve furries?
There's one that you should know very well, Katawa Shoujo.
yes,
That is
the
a
one that we
Western
all
VN.
know.
Oh, that is a
That-
Western.
That
novel.
is a Western VN.
Unexpected.
4chan made it. I'm not kidding, 4chan made it.
Dude, you follow Gear. You should know about
Yeah, you
this.
should know that. Yeah.
I played it, but I didn't like follow the history or the etymology of it.
He's got a video out there.
Yeah, anime. Another Western VN that I'm sure everyone has heard about is this one, Doki Doki Literature Club. I'm not even sure if
DDLC.
you can see it. No, let's just assume that
No
you can see
worries.
it.
Ed
Yeah.
will zoom it
Yeah,
up.
zoom it.
Yeah, I'll
Okay,
make
so
sure
it's
it's
Doki
over
Doki Literature Club. This is the plus version, which is
Oh, you got the
sold
plus
by-
version.
Yeah, because only the plus version is a physical copy.
Oh.
Fantastic.
The original version is only available on the PC, and arguably I think that the additional bonuses that comes with the plus version don't justify it, because I feel like the original was better in its simplicity rather than having additional things here. Yeah, you get a lot of additional stuff with the plus version, such as a soundtrack download,
It's kind of worthless.
a name card, like in-universe beta name card,
Hmm.
like a lot of other stickers and all that. Yeah, you can just go to the Serenity Forge website to see what they do give. Yeah, anyway, so this was actually made in Ren'Py, which is a visual novel engine that a lot of Western visual novel makers use. Ren'Py.
It's a more
Ren'Py.
modern.
It's pretty more. It's basically if you want to make if it's basically what RPG Maker is to RPG makers.
Okay,
Mm.
that actually sounds like English to me.
Yes.
Alright, before we actually get back into something that is not okay, let's get into something that's not English. Okay, we're gonna go into our whiskey for today. Remus,
Yes.
you have been known to remark that alcohol tastes like alcohol.
Yes. It all
Today
is
we
the
are
same
hoping
thing.
to change your opinion of things. Ben, what have I brought here?
Is that Coke?
Introduce this.
I mean, it does look like Coke, doesn't it?
I'm drinking Coke right now.
I'm just kidding.
Come
This
on, the
is
hue is completely different.
fine. This is whiskey. This is a Kavalan bourbon cask. Do you know what bourbon is?
It's a type of alcohol.
Yes, it is.
Correct.
It is a American whiskey. So they use the the cask that they mature the American whiskey with to mature this.
Okay, so the important thing is that bourbon must be made from rye. I'm remembering that correctly. That is the it as the principal grain. It has to be rye.
Mhm.
Yes, it doesn't. I don't think it necessarily needs to be made in Kentucky. But
It hasn't.
yeah,
Yeah.
but rye has to be the main grain that is being used. So that is what imparts a very nice sweet flavor.
Mhm.
Not your typical sweet flavors.
Alcohol percentage. Jesus, that's a lot.
So Ben, I kind of like just grabbed this off the shelf at like the Kavalan Distillery's gift shop.
Cool.
What's the percentage on there?
You wanna read that for me?
56.
Yes, it's 56.3 for those who are not cultured enough.
Okay, for those who could not understand Japanese, it is 56.3% alcohol. It is a cask strength single malt whiskey.
Mhm.
So the color is not as absurd as the Kavalan Vinho Barrick that Ben brought the previous time round, although it is of the same like family in terms of whiskey.
That's kind of to be expected, I guess, because usually wine casks tend to impart a darker color than bourbon casks. Like
Yep.
bourbon whiskeys tend to be a lot lighter.
Exactly.
To be expected.
Yep. So I have tasted this before, so I'm not too sure what these two are expecting. But for me, I know that this is delightfully sweet, just a little bit below the Kavalan Distillery Reserve rum cask. That is even sweeter.
All my alcohol knowledge pertains to beer. Because
Oh.
I'm doing typesetting for beer manga.
Wait, what?
Bakatsu. I think I told you all before, right? No? I do typesetting for beer manga.
I think he did, but
Mm.
alright. So as I pour us a nice dram of the Kavalan Solist bourbon cask, single malt cask strength, tell us a bit more about this beer manga that you have been typesetting for.
Oh, it's written by Hagayui, who you may know from Lotte no Omocha. It's the lolly manga. Yep.
Okay.
Hagayui.
I mean, you can tell from my lack of reaction that I actually did not know that.
She's also the artist for the light novel Baka Test, in case you're...
Oh, okay. Finally,
Yes, you should have started with
something that don't just drink it yet. Remember, Remus?
I'm adjusting it so that, you know, my games can hide it.
Oh, okay.
Style of
So
games.
Yes, you can reach out to our glass.
as you saw me as I was pouring it, it is not that particularly viscous. Well, it actually looks really beautiful inside the light.
Indeed, it's a very nice ember.
Looks like Coke.
Remus, hold it up and hold it side by side and look into the light and tell me that with a straight face.
It looks like Coke. It does! Except that Coke is slightly darker.
Yeah, I think that's the
It
most
does look
important.
like Coke. No, look at it. If you put it to the light, it does look like Coke. They're both amber.
He has a point.
They're both amber.
Are you not looking at it like? Are you not looking
Hold
at
it
the
up.
Coke
Yeah,
remnants that are being touched by the ice cube over there?
They look the same. I'm not okay. They look similar.
has a point.
I'm not saying they are the same. I'm saying they look same.
Nah, no.
It's like
no.
saying that something
Like, if you hold it to the light.
it's like Pepsi
Yeah.
and it's like Pepsi and Coke. It's like
No, there's no realistic, tangible way.
Alright,
No.
never mind.
Alright, gentlemen. Screw
Never
this. We are going to sample the. Let's hear I read this one. The Kavalan Single Malt Whiskey ex-Bourbon cask strength. Alright, let's give it a good whiff, gentlemen.
I feel like I can use this to thin my paints. The alcohol strength.
I mean,
Nice
yes,
and
it
lightly
does have
sweet. Yeah.
a very high alcohol strength.
Too
but
strong. It will go down very smooth.
Can use this to.
It has a very nice honey smell to it.
Yep.
It smells like alcohol.
Alright, gentlemen.
I can't. I don't have the vocab for this.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
You
So-
don't need a vocab for this. You just
so
need to
before-
relate it to something that you know.
Wait, gentlemen. So before we
Yeah,
actually
Bangladesh
begin,
is just a
I
try.
need to point out that based on Ben's feedback, we now actually have a pipette available. On it listed, it is. I know that it looks very clear. I guarantee you, it is not vodka. It's actually a case of dihydrogen monoxide for us to dilute our drink.
Otherwise known as isopropyl alcohol.
No, it is not isopropyl alcohol. It is dihydrogen monoxide.
It's
Safe for human consumption. We can use it to alter the
isn't this shit
concentration.
poisonous?
Yeah,
In a-
consuming large amounts will cause your
Yes.
brain to swell.
I believe that the dose makes the poison, and that 10
Oh.
liters of this might be adequate.
Inhalation is also deadly.
Yes,
enough.
if too much gets into your lung, we can't pump it out.
Oh, the gaseous form, right? Also,
Go on.
Also increases like the
Corrosion.
likelihood of you like suffering from heat stroke.
That's absolutely wonderful.
Fair enough.
I know.
And it does increase corrosion in metals.
Exactly. It causes.
Anyways,
causes
That is very
oxidation.
true. Too much of it is going to thin your blood, kind of how we can use it to thin alcohol. Okay, let's actually stop stalling and drink the goddamn
Cheers.
alcohol. Cheers, fellas.
Kanpai.
Kanpai. Weakness disgusts me.
I don't drink alcohol.
Ben, first thoughts.
Oh, that's. I'm not sure if it is because of the alcohol. I think we put it past us already, but it might be because of the alcohol that it tastes a little nutty.
Yep.
Otherwise, very sweet honey, like you expect a bourbon.
It
That's
burns
right.
when it goes down.
So
Yes,
I would
that's
suggest
because
that
of
this
the
is the time where
content.
we apply some dihydrogen monoxide. Not too much, just a drop's worth. So like this. And for you, sir.
You might want to add a few more drops for him.
Air came out. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
that should.
Okay.
Okay,
thanks.
3 drops. Ben, want a drop?
How does Tony Stark do this? How does he drink it?
With sass. With unspeakable irony and risk. Oh yeah. That draws it out. Unspeakably nutty and sweet. It's almost like the Frangelico.
I have no reference point, but it is very, very nutty indeed.
This alcohol.
Does it taste like beer?
No, it doesn't.
See,
Alright.
we're starting with something. Let's go.
So,
Not all alcohol
Remus,
is the same.
Yes.
so you mentioned that you've been reading a beer manga.
A
Or
bit
typesetting.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about the actual beers inside and not the characters that
Can't
you would.
recall. Okay, so the one that I distinctly remember is a type of beer called lambic beer, which is during the fermentation process, crushed fruits like and juice and all that is added in, and then it's fermented as well. So it's called lambic because if I'm not mistaken, it's just the name. Then after that, can't recall why they are called that but so it gives it, then it's fermented in cask similar to wine. So that chapter of new characters introduced, there's like, oh, the Ojo-sama likes wine. So it was manufactured in a similar way to wine, and hence why it was given like that. I drank cherry lambic before, and yeah, it's very sweet because of the fruit juice inside, and it tastes slightly like wine, not as sour, but
Not as sour.
But yeah, it's a very sweet beer. I can give that a shot if anyone like can try wants
That
to try.
sounds great. Because
Yeah,
I am more on the wise beer, light beer side of things. But I'm not sure about you.
Dude,
You like
anything on the nitro tab is good for the drinking.
Then they also mentioned something called wheat beer. Wheat beer.
Yeah,
That's
wheat
the
beer.
standard.
Wheat beer is using wheat instead of barley in fermentation.
Correct. So
What's the
I
standard?
like wheat beers in general. For example, Cronenberg. You probably heard that 1664.
It's the director who does body horror movies. Cronenberg.
That might be the case. I'm not too sure whether it's spelled with a K or a C.
Wait,
No, it's
like
a
the
C.
human centipede.
I don't think he did that one.
I believe
But-
the Cronenberg I'm referring to starts with a K.
You know, the one I'm talking about starts with C. If anyone watches Rick and Morty, they know what I'm talking about.
Oh,
Yeah, though I believe we both know what you're talking about. At
And
least.
then there's also I don't know the actual name. Like we translated it to dark beer, but like in Japanese it's called kuro beer. Kuro beer.
That's just called black beer.
Yeah,
Black
it's just
beer?
black beer. But we
We're
translate it
referring
dark
to a
beer.
stout.
It's,
Yeah,
yeah,
probably
it's
a
stout. Yeah, it's the type of beer. Oops, sorry, that's the Coke coming up.
Basically, it's a Guinness of the
Yeah,
manga
exactly.
world, right?
It's not just Guinness. It's like we basically just like categorize everything that is dark under that category. So before that, the wheat grain, okay, not the wheat the mugi grains are like roasted beforehand to give it the dark color. Yeah, and that's how they're created. The grains are roasted before fermentation happens, and depending on how long you roast it, right, the darker the color. That's how dark beers are created at least.
Interesting. It
I tried
sounds
that
like a
as well.
toasty
I tried
process.
that as well. I didn't like it. It's too like
Too light.
too bitter.
Too
for my
bitter.
taste.
Thought you were
Yeah.
saying it's too light.
No. Then there's also for
Damn.
one of the first few chapters they introduced Indian Pale Ale IPA,
Oh, okay.
which historically turns out was created for transport from Europe to the West Indies, otherwise known as. Yeah, so it was transferred, hence the name Indian Pale Ale, which is a lot more bitter because of its high hop concentration, which was used as a preservative to last on ships.
Damn, you
Interesting.
are now very knowledgeable on beer.
No,
you-
just specifically the beers they mentioned.
Have you ever thought of starting to brew your own beer?
No, the process is
Painstaking.
a lot of not sanitation. What's the word? To get rid
Climate
of bacteria.
control.
To get rid of bacteria. Not sanitation.
I can't remember.
Sterilization.
Yes.
A lot of sterilization has to occur to make sure that
Your
you
environment is
don't,
sufficient,
you don't
right?
introduce
Yeah.
unwanted bacteria into the fermentation process.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's gonna spoil. Cause I am going to Australia like soon, and then I have I'm not sure if it's a grand uncle who also does his own beer fermentation. Like he has a specific kit, he has his own cask, he has his own vats, and then he has like probably a few hundred bottles being laid out in order to go and ferment his own beer. He'll
Interesting.
bottle it and drink it by himself.
Well, for your information, it is legal to brew beer in Singapore, but it is not legal to brew whiskey. To distill whiskey. Alright.
Are you sure?
Yes, it's not legal at least without a permit.
Of course.
I feel like the
You
permit
can't-
was the most important part.
You can't homebrew it,
Okay, fine.
right?
How are you going to get a freaking pot still? Like, am I going to get a pot still in this room? And
No, you
then
can't you can't use a fractional distiller either.
Why
You can't steal your science lab stuff.
Are you gonna freaking make vodka or something instead by accident?
I am not legally allowed to say whether I will or not on this video. Anyways,
I believe that rather than attempt to create an abomination, let's talk about things that are not an abomination but works of art. Let's get back to our actual topic.
Are you
du jour.
sure about that? Alright, to begin with, right, I think we need to have a definition of what constitutes a VM. So, like, do you have any criteria? Does it need to, like, not have any game elements? So, let's take a look at, say, Corpse Party.
My personal criteria is that if I can find it on VNDB, it's a VN. I'm just offloading the requirements to be a VN to someone else to determine
Okay,
for
fine.
me.
Alright.
For people who don't understand, VNDB's website.
Visual Novel Database.
Yes, .com.
That is one of the best databases online. It's not visualnoveldatabase.com, it's actually vndb.com. It's
Yes,
one of the
I know.
best databases online, just like even like divorced from visual novels. It's just a very good database. The tagging system is amazing, and the sorting system is like the ranking system is also pretty good as well. Yeah, from so you can just see what tops the charts every time.
You'll find some very questionable tags on there.
It's also pretty good at sorting. So
Yep.
they're also very comprehensive. It's one of the best resources for anyone who doesn't like play visual novels but wants to get into it. You can just go into the top rankings and then you can play anything in the top 10, and they're generally pretty good. They also have a like average time taken for the game, so you can use that as a metric as well.
That's
Perfect,
a
Remus.
very important.
I believe that you're a very cultured man. What's the average completion time of runs?
Depends on the game.
It really depends.
Yeah, it really depends.
Really?
Yeah, it
you
really
can have different
depends.
lengths of visual novels. You can have a Fate, and you can have a kinetic novel that takes like what 6 hours. At
No,
least.
runs.
Wait,
What
runs?
run? What do you mean runs?
Sengoku runs.
Oh, runs.
Runs. Ah.
I don't play runs. I don't like the game.
I know of it, but I have not researched that either.
Yeah, I don't like runs. I just don't like the main
if you
character.
have
I'll
any
refer,
stats?
I'll refer to another friend for that.
Alright, never mind then.
Okay, so let's get back.
Yes, based on his definitions of VNs, I can now say with certainty
yeah.
that Pingu is also an anime. But that's beside the point. Okay.
Pingu is an anime. Pingu in the city specifically.
Exactly. Anyways.
I don't even know what Pingu is, but continue.
It's on my anime list. That's how you
Exactly.
So,
And
is
that
Star
is-
Wars on my anime list?
Yes.
There is a Star Wars
There
anime.
is a Star
Exactly.
Wars, yeah.
Exactly. So Star Wars is
anime.
also anime.
Yeah.
But back to the point, it's like
Shut up, anime.
we have many different kinds of Shut is an anime. We have many different kinds of visual novels, right? We have the standard, which is like Clarinet.
Okay.
Stein, like even Steins Gate might arguably be
Arguably.
not a standard visual novel.
Yeah, it has a bit too much interactive.
No, its choice system is very unique. Hence, okay, we'll get there later.
Yes,
yeah,
we'll
so
get
that's the standard visual novels. Like,
Okay.
It's just like you have your text box, and then you at most have a few options appear on top, and that's your standard VN. So things like the Katawa Shoujo could be considered a standard visual novel as well.
So you say there's a text and there's options.
Yes.
that
Is
is
Fate
the
Grand Order
baseline.
VN with battle elements?
I have the
Arguable.
battle elements are the questionable part as to whether it constitutes.
I mean, it's
We'll
a turn-based
get there,
strategy game.
We'll get there later, but generally, right, the thing is that the choices that you make must impact the story in some way.
Oh.
Whereas FGO doesn't have that.
It does.
I mean, like, you put, like, ultimately the ultimate choice doesn't
Okay, then
affect.
no.
You don't get different endings based on the choices you make in
Yeah, you
that.
just get like slight modifications to a battle, for
Yes.
example.
Yeah, so another type is Danganronpa.
Okay.
Danganronpa,
Would
which
you like
is...
to point it out from the
Yes, I
start?
do
You have it here? Holy.
do have Danganronpa. In fact,
Holy.
it is Danganronpa Trilogy.
Oh, you
All
have the
three
trilogy.
games on it. Fun
Damn.
fact, by the way, Danganronpa Trilogy, right, just comes with 1.2 reload and V3 as two
Wait, what?
separate discs. It's not a new disc. They just took 1.2 reload and put it together in V3 in a separate case. Danganronpa,
That is
Danganronpa. So
excessively lazy.
this actually fits our definition for VN, like our scuffed up definition, because it is on VNDB. Plus, the options you make affect the story in the class trials primarily.
Oh.
Mm.
By the end of the day,
You
there
can-
are bad ends, right?
There are bad ends.
Okay,
You
fantastic.
can reach a bad end.
You can
by-
screw up.
Yeah, by screwing up and giving it a wrong definition. In that case, right, you can also judge Ace Attorney as another type of VN.
That's true.
He has a
It's
point.
true.
That's
it's
true.
But
Objection.
that is sure. What are you objecting to it?
No, I'm just saying objection.
Okay, you need a point.
No,
Objection.
You don't get it. It's like this. Objection. You need to slam the table first.
I would like to call for a cross-examination, but let's get back to the
Sorry,
point.
I'd like to cross-examine the parrot. I'll take you up at an offer and cross-examine the parrot.
You are not the clown. You
You're
are
the whole
entire circus,
circus.
man.
Oh,
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
getting brain
Apart
damage.
from that, right, there are like okay. So if we're talking about separating, like categorizing VNs based on the way you make a choice, there is a lot of different VNs that can fit that mold. For instance, one of the classics,
Go on.
Steins Gate,
Else
Steins
congruent.
Gate, which I have here. Thankfully, not the original one. The original one came out on Xbox 360
Ready
and
to
then was
play the
ported
anime.
over to the PS3. This is actually Steins Gate Elite, which replaced the gorgeous artworks drawn by what's it?
Wait, what?
Cool, right?
I can't remember.
Let me yeah.
I didn't
replaces
watch
the gorgeous.
Steins Gate.
You're at
Okay,
the-
sorry,
you're-
okay.
Okay.
I think it's Takashi Kiara's artist. Yeah, so it replaces the artwork drawn by him with the anime cutscenes. So,
Blasphemy.
I mean, it's just a choice, but yeah. So this one actually, how you make the choice is that during certain periods in time, you can choose whether to send or not to send a D-mail, which people they didn't communicate well. So people generally the first route they go down to is Suzuha's route because
Who's Suzuha?
in
I only
Sanskrit,
know the Daga Otoko.
Amane Suzuha, right?
Wait, the cat cafe.
No,
No,
wait.
wait,
Suzuha
Amane
is
Suzuha? Wait, is the time traveler?
spoilers.
Dude, it's been out for so long.
I'm
If
just
they
saying it's a thing. I didn't play this until 2 years ago because I was trying to find a copy of it.
But the anime.
But yes, so it's because Suzuha's route requires no interaction in order to reach it. So people don't realize that sending a D-mail is an option until they finish the route and they're like, wait, there was options, yeah. Because there is no traditional text-based choice that comes up on screen for you to choose. So you actually during certain periods in time you have to press the button to pull out your phone,
Yes.
go navigate to the text menu and then text your microwave to
Nice.
send a
Your
email.
microwave.
Yes.
Yes.
Whip out your phone to text the microwave.
Yes, during gameplay, like during actual gameplay. So a lot of people don't know that's a thing, so they end up going to Suzuha's route by mistake.
Well, that's the downside of.
So that's Steins Gate. So that's how the options are done in Steins Gate. Yeah.
On the other side, I think there are a few like there's a genre called kinetic novels which have no interaction at all.
Nani?
Mm.
Yeah, you have just your text box and then it's essentially reading a book.
Yeah, just reading a
Oh,
book.
okay.
So
I don't usually play that, I'll be honest.
I mean, I only remember one of them because it was by Key Studios, Planetarium, which was quite nice.
I've heard of it. I
It-
might
never
have
heard.
seen the cover art.
It is an anime now.
Yeah.
But
That's
the
why.
voice actress was the wrong choice. But anyways,
Wow. Okay.
Who would that
Um,
be?
sorry, no, it's fine.
Yeah.
You don't know about anything to do with that. But yeah,
Perfect.
interestingly, that is also something that could be considered under the genre of visual novels. Though it's like there's no interaction, which Higurashi is a mix of the two because the last chapter, you call it chapter 8.
Just quite chapters.
Fine.
I haven't
Last
played yet,
chapter
by the way, no
had-
spoilers.
Alright, the last chapter had interactions, while the first 7 chapters did not.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, so it's a mixture of both. Yeah. There's also certain other types where it's like where you actually just choose who you want to interact. So it's more like it's similar to an adventure game. For instance, where is it? Dead Alive has this feature. Dead Alive has this feature. Specifically, this is Dead Alive Reincarnation,
Pretty sure
which
Dead Alive
comes
was an
with-
LN.
which comes with comes in 3 games inside. Reincarnation, Arisu in store, and one other I can't recall what's the last one. But yeah, so where like every day you have 2 slots where you just choose who to hang out with, and choosing who to hang out with affects your ending, I guess.
So that's just Danganronpa but without any impacts on the ending.
No, it's like it's even less like Danganronpa, because Danganronpa you have to walk around and then you find the person in the world, right? But this one is just you have a map and then you just choose which location to go on the map, and that's it.
So basically, you're meant to patronize all of the.
Yo, ever
goddesses.
play Honey Pop? Yeah, it's like Honey Pop.
What is Honey Pop?
Yeah, it's like that, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
I have
that
no
is
idea what's Honey Pop.
there's more towards the side of eroge, but that's besides
I'm
the
just
point.
saying it's similar gameplay, like, you know. Okay, yes, then if we are going to talk about well-known visual novels, so let's talk about Clannad. I have Clannad, but I lent it to a friend, so I don't have the physical copy now.
When we talk about visual novels, there is the juggernaut that is Key Studios, though they
I
have
agree.
a very sketchy link with their anime.
Yeah.
Canon 2002, Canon 2004.
Canon art.
Uh,
I think he knows what I mean with canon art.
no.
Have you not seen the eyes?
No. Oh yes. That one I know,
Eyes.
that one I
That's
know.
right.
Yes.
Exactly.
I got
Oh,
used to
man.
it when playing through Clannad.
Holy crap.
So
Ah,
Clannad.
yes.
I forgot what it came out with, but all I know is that it got released on the PS3 and then it got released on the PS4 as well. Then upon release on the PS4, it was after they had a PC release based on the PS3 version. So when releasing on the PS4, when releasing it worldwide, it was worldwide released as a digital only download.
Oh.
But in order to save costs, right, the Japan version and the worldwide version uses the same game. So the Japanese version actually has English subtitles options inside the game.
Nice.
So if you buy the Japanese version of Clannad, it just comes with English options to play it with.
I still don't get why that could happen, but they couldn't do it for Angel Beats. First
Angel Beats is a V?
No, Angel Beats.
First beat.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Wait.
A
It
lot.
released in.
I only know there's
2012.
an anime, there's a manga.
It released in 2000.
A lot of
12 or
anime
13.
has a VN
Yes,
for some reason. Yeah.
but maybe doesn't work. very
Quality
well.
varies.
What the heck?
Like,
yeah, I didn't know.
Oremo has lots of VNs.
That's true. But it's about the same as it having the same amount of R18 content.
Well,
That reminds me, I should get Plastic Memories.
Oreno
Oh.
Section of Com also has a VN, and Sensei is the best route.
No comment.
Wait,
Sorry,
repeat the name again?
Oreno Section of.
Yeah.
What
Is
is
he
it?
Yahari no.
Ah, yes.
Oregairu?
Yeah, Origairu.
Yes, it has a VN.
Yeah.
Oh, that I know. Sensei is the best route.
Yes, Sensei
Who
is the
agrees?
best route.
Who agrees?
Yeah.
Gentlemen, we are in the court.
Okay,
That's
so
right.
so Clarinet, yes, okay. So Clarinet, they do like they're well known for their questionable, proportions.
I
Yeah, the story
mean,
is good.
that's kind of like in the same vein as Bucky, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, but yeah, it's a good story. They are traditional VN in the sense that their options are, like just in the menu, and then you can just choose which one you want to go, and you go different routes, and depending on your choices, it leads to different.
But there's a second arc.
Can I just ask, in case I'm having like mildly sociopathic thinking here, did any of you feel sad at like Planet's like plot or ending?
I did.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I did. You're the weird one here.
You're the weird one.
You're the weird one here.
Huh.
Fun fact: you can only get Planet's true ending by getting everything.
You have to go through all the roads, and then you have to go back to play. What was her
True
name?
ending.
Alright.
Nagisa's.
Nagisa.
Speaking of
Yes.
true ending, let's get on to our next true
Yes.
ending of this whiskey.
Think
We're
that's a
only
good
going to have it
transition.
on the rock, and that's it. On the rocks. That's it. Alright, let me go and disappear to get us the rocks. Alright, I'm back. I'm back.
Oh, it makes your mouth so dry.
Yeah. So, but not as harsh as, say, the Madeira or the Vino Barrack, yeah?
Yeah.
Because those burn, man. Remus, if only you could try it, man. The Vinho Barracks. Oh,
The bottle's open.
but it's at your place.
Yeah.
The Madeira cask, however, is up there. Alright, so we have our drinks, we have our rocks. Let's go and get it poured. And then Remus, let's see if this can change your perception.
You know what would be a nice challenge?
No,
Have someone eat a McSpicy and then drink this.
I don't eat. I don't eat spicy.
Shit.
I guess that's
Oh
why.
crap.
this
Okay,
is
that's
very
our
spicy.
that's our bonus content.
Haha.
Go for it.
Yes.
When I'm back from Australia, we're doing that.
I'm just here for VN talk.
Right, your
Alright.
toilet's gonna be mine for the next week then.
No man, I'm kicking you out, man. You're walking back with a sore butt, man. It's not for the reasons most people think it's for.
Yes, Milo. Anyways.
Alright? So we should let this, chill for a bit, let the ice melt a little bit, dilute the whiskey. On that note, so speaking of true endings, is there a favorite true ending that you have for any kind of story?
For VNs, either Steins Gate or Planet. Honestly, like the quality of the game generally dictates quality of the ending in general. Yeah.
I think what he's trying to ask is whether you like the harem endings.
Depends on the series. Not every VN has a harem ending.
That's
as
true.
well. Yeah, it's pretty obvious. Like seeing, like even
Fate didn't have a harem,
Yeah,
man.
exactly. Which
It
is
doesn't?
this game.
That
Yeah.
game, hold it
Yeah.
closer.
I am
That's
surprised.
Right. Fate
It's a
Stay
Japanese
Night.
copy.
Shit.
You English patched it, didn't you?
Nope, this one
No.
cannot English patch.
Oh.
The one that I have on my Vita is the Ultimate Edition. Which is a
Ryota
port.
Noah, right?
Yeah, it's a port.
Yeah.
Mm.
So Ryota Noah is still based on the original Fate Stay Night, although they did change, I believe, the music.
And the opening.
Yes.
And the voices.
Correct.
Yes. Okay, so the one I think so they released it originally on PC. So Fate, we're talking about Fate now, Fate Stay Night.
Fate Stay Night,
specifically. So they originally released on the PC before a port to the PS2 was introduced a while later. The PS2
PSP?
port. No, PS2.
Okay.
The PS2 port removed all the H scenes, but introduced voice acting, and introduced voice acting, and that's why then they call it Ryota Noah. So this version of the Ryota Noah on the PS Vita introduces a new opening, but it's based on the PS2 version, so it has all the voice acting as well.
You know what? All I can say is pathetic. Removing the H scenes.
Later, a PC version was
They're
released.
trying to
yeah.
reach out to a wider audience. It's just like how Infinite had Wings removed
Unspeakable.
the H scenes for the general release. Yes.
That is unacceptable.
No worries, you can always just patch it back in.
Okay.
Like the Ultimate Edition does have a H scene patch. So the
From those
Ultimate-
statements, I need some cope. So, gentlemen, cheers. Let's not let it melt too much. The smell, if anything, was really promising. Now the taste is so much better.
It doesn't burn as bad. It burns a bit.
Can't tell.
Yeah?
I think like 5 droplets
yeah, I
of
can't
water.
tell.
This guy, man.
I just
We are gonna
think
need to clean up your palate.
I don't drink alcohol.
Clean it
Still
up.
quite nutty, but it is. I guess it does bring out the honey a bit more at the start.
Yeah, it draws out the bourbon cask. Like my first whiff is that on the rocks it smells so much more promising despite not having like a nosing glass.
But I would say it's still. I think it's still better neat than.
Really? I like it on the rocks. It's kind of like the triple sherry. The triple sherry was pretty much like irredeemable with anything but neat. So this one is like, I would feel heretical if I mix this.
Yes.
But at the same time, it feels like I must add water to really like
Yeah, you
give
need
it
to add
flavor, give the flavor a chance to shine. If we're gonna go with it like neat.
But I think on the rocks dampens the flavors a bit too much.
Really, I feel like it draws it out for me. Maybe my sweet spot is around the 48% alcohol range, 46, 48.
Perhaps.
Yeah, yours is probably
Maybe
50?
slightly higher. Yeah.
Yeah. Remus is probably he needs like
A beer.
liquor.
He
Yeah, he needs a beer,
I
man.
drink
He
beer.
needs a shochu. Can I recommend you like Mizunara the shop? That's like pretty
No,
good place
it's
for you to
fine.
find shochu.
I don't drink that much anyway.
Man, you need a.
Think about
actual tap.
one bottle is probably the equivalent of one real grade for him.
Fair enough.
Like
That
$40.
is blasphemy. What?
Real grades are like $30, $40.
Wait, they're
Okay,
That's
one
it.
master grade for you.
Master grades are like $60.
What's higher than that? What's higher than a master grade?
A bigger master grade.
Okay, a bigger master grade.
limited editions.
That's $90.
Okay, yeah, about the limited edition.
Real grades are $90. We're talking about Gundam in case you're wondering.
Yeah.
Gundam is affordable nowadays.
No, you need to know which shops to go to.
Really?
Yeah, it's like you don't go to
He showed
You don't
me
go to a
like
Sengkang.
you don't go to like
Gundam
NTUC
Expo.
to buy like to buy alcohol, right?
his
Actually,
Gundam was
no.
there
Really?
at the Sengkang like at one
You
at
shouldn't
one of
buy
the
it there, by the
Sengkang.
way.
No, at one of the
Gundam
Sengkang
Expo.
expos, one of your pieces was there,
Oh
right?
yeah,
You
it's on
submitted it.
display.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
man. Cool.
yeah, participate.
He
in
participated
Gundam
once.
No, actually,
Once?
you do go to multiple
Participate every
times.
year.
Yeah, I remember he was telling me about it. It was back
It's still
in
there?
either
No,
year
no,
one
like,
or reservist,
it
right?
takes like it's once a year. Gundam Expo takes
As in,
place once
is
a year.
the expo is still there.
No, it's
No more.
Yeah,
Unfortunate.
I need to submit my submission for this year's one.
Wait, as in the Gundam expo is still happening there.
No, it's like October, I think.
As in at Sengkang.
Should be next
Compass
one.
one.
Should be a next one.
That's Serangoon.
That's,
Oh,
yeah,
then
that's
it
a
should be a
different.
next one.
Oh,
No, they changed spots.
Oh, the one at POSB, no, Singpost Plaza, is it? No, that one.
that's Paya Lebar.
Paya Lebar, sorry. No.
That's all.
Yeah, the one is a very long time ago. The one I'm talking about. I'm just going to say names and then you're going
Well, to be fair, you actually do buy alcohol at NTUC, but you buy the cheaper stuff.
Yeah, like you don't buy like high
Absolute,
end stuff.
Absolute there was $49 at Celebration it was 56.
Ben, can I remind you that so far every single time we bought from Fair Price, we died.
Absolute is cheaper there.
Ben, we've been through this.
Absolute is cheaper there. And I'm
We
using
don't
It.
settle.
I'm using it. All right. Okay, never mind. Back to
Alright.
back to the topic. of
Back to a
visual
quality
novels.
topic.
Visual novels.
Visual novels.
So-
Remus, run us through
Yeah,
something
so,
that is not fair related.
Talking about so we were talking about
Fate.
like visual novel developers. So we have Key, which is a very good one. Then we also have Type Moon,
That's good.
which famously they have Type Moon,
but
which
also-
famously has not I'm getting there. So which
That's right.
famously has refused to publish any of their like visual novels in English. Until relatively recently, sometime last year or this year, if I'm not mistaken, I can't recall exactly when, they actually released Witch of the Holy Night, Mahou Tsukai no Yoru,
Yoru. Yeah,
in
that's right.
English. So this is the limited edition. I just picked it up yesterday. I haven't played through it. Yeah, so this is the Japanese copy, but because each disc is actually similar, like the game on the disc is similar, the Japanese copy does come with English subtitles as well.
Fun fact: Kinoko Nasu stands for mushroom eggplant.
Yes. Kinoko Mushroom Nasu, yes.
That's
Why do I need to know that?
Nasu means eggplant.
right.
It's like
Okay.
how like the one of the mangakas is a mangaka is called Wakame Kombu, which is just two types of seaweed.
That's right. That's exactly right.
It's just funny. Yeah, so in fact, some of you may know that Tsukihime, the remake is actually coming out in English sometime next year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so we can enjoy Akui in her full glory.
Do we just pirate the translated version.
Yeah, I'm just saying if you want to support. Yeah, a lot of people theorize that the change was because FGO was really popular, and then Type Moon basically is like, oh shit, people outside of Japan actually wants our stuff. But also at the same time, Nasu personally is like, no, Japanese only. So that's why a lot of it hasn't been. So and another one, okay, so that's Type Moon. So Type Moon, good news for Type Moon fans. Another
That's
one
right.
is actually who does Science Adventure?
What, 5 PB or is it majors?
5 PB, I think.
I think, yeah, 5 PB, right?
5 PB. If I'm not mistaken, 5 PB does the Science Adventure series. So you may not know what Science Adventure that is, but you may know their most popular series, which is Steins Gate.
Oh,
So Science Adventure, the three main ones that people know about is Chaos Head, followed by Steins Gate, followed by Robotic Notes.
Which
I
is
have here.
just sequences in a timeline.
So
Yes,
Chaos Head,
Chaos Head, and Steins Gate.
Steins Gate,
So you will know that they are like the thing about Science Adventure games
robotics.
is that they all have a semicolon in the names. Yeah,
Yes.
so from there, right?
I thought they were all just animes at the start when I first found out about Steins Gate. Then I noticed the trend.
That's how it works.
Then I found out that they were VNs.
So it's relatively infamous in the visual novel community that the translation quality for Science Adventures games aren't the best. So you have a group called the Committee of Zero, who does fan translations and like translation upgrade patches to be used on the PC version. So it's highly recommended that if you play any of these games on PC,
Patch it.
apply the patches. In fact, PC is the best place to play visual novels because you can pirate it.
And you can patch it.
In fact, although I do not condone pirating, I think that you should buy your games.
Hey, if it doesn't exist
Hey,
out there,
this guy buys a
you
lot
know,
of games.
I buy my games. Second
A
hand
lot of
granted, but I
games.
do buy them. But if you don't have access to a PC, which is kind of unbelievable, or you prefer not to play on a PC.
My friend can't play League of Legends because his PC kind of exploded. So
But the thing is that visual novels on the PC aren't that resource intensive, so even like integrated graphics will work. In fact, right, you don't even have to download it for certain visual novels. For instance, there is a web-based version of
Fate.
Fate. Exactly.
That's right.
You
I
can
know.
play
I saw.
the
I
web-based version of Fate.
I played like the first few
Wow.
slides of it. Then I decided to just save it, commit it to a bookmark, and then I'll play in the future
Then
when
you
I
never
actually have
touched it.
time.
Then you never touched it again.
Exactly.
Never touched it again.
Exactly.
So the second best one, for me personally, would be the Nintendo Switch.
oh,
Because
is it?
a lot of visual novels are currently on the Switch. For instance, Robotic Notes Double Pack, which comes with Robotic Notes and Robotic Notes Dash. Robotic Notes Elite and Robotic Notes Elite Dash, which is the same. It's just improved. It's like the remaster version. It's also on the Switch. In fact, most of the Science Adventure games are on the Switch. And even, as you may notice, this is a PS3 copy of Chaos Head Noah. So Chaos Head Noah is only available on the PS3 unless you play the Japanese-only version of Chaos Head, which is Chaos Head Noah Elite, and Chaos Head Elite Zero, I think. Basically, Chaos Child Elite, I think. Basically, it's just a remake.
I saw Chaos Child.
Yeah, so that one, right, is actually released in English. Chaos Head Noah is released in English on the Switch, but it's not released on the PS4, which is very annoying.
Yes, just
Yeah, so if you want, you can get it on the Switch. The Switch is actually very popular for visual novels, if anyone wants to get it. If you're a fan of Hololive, Aqua Hero, Aqua Hero Aquarium, was it? The
Aquaman.
the visual novel with featuring Aqua, Minato Aqua as the main protagonist. It's
Shit.
also on the PS on the
There is
Switch.
a
I thought you said Aqua from Konosuba
No,
for a
it's
second.
there is a VM for Holo.
Yes, there is.
Live?
Yeah, and if you don't
Actually,
want
I'm
to
not
Switch,
even
the
that
third
surprised.
best one is actually a PS Vita. So the PS Vita has a lot of Switch, a lot of games on it. In fact, right, one of the main benefits of the Vita is that if you want to play it natively, right, i.e. to say, you want to have the physical copy, but it doesn't exist. So for instance, this is Grisaya, which is another popular series.
Yes. Very good
So for
anime.
instance, this is the first game, Fruits of Grisaya. I'm
Misaya
not
no Kajutsu.
going to say the French name because I'm not good at it. But yeah, so this is only in Japanese. If you play it on the PC, they have a English version of it.
Yes, there
Le
is on
Fruit
Steam.
de la
On
Grisaya.
Steam, yes. So this is available on Steam in English, but then it's not available on the PS Vita in English. So what people
Why
have
the heck
done,
does it need to be?
so what people have done, right, is that the game is relatively easy to unpack and then analyze. So what they did was they created a patch so you can actually play through Grisaya in English if you hack it. If you hack it on your Vita. So for instance, this is my Vita, and as you can see,
Is this
in,
copyrighted?
it's in
It's
English.
fine. It's just one scene.
Yeah, it's just one scene.
Yeah, that's true.
It's in English, so you can apply if you hack your Vita, you can download repatch and you can apply patches to it.
If you hack a Vita.
Yeah,
See,
it's
So you hack the
easy.
Vita.
That is hack Vita. See,
God damn.
if not, why would Raiden be on my cover?
Unfortunately, it is not a thing that the regular Vita player would do. But
No,
most
it's-
people do.
Yeah, it's very easy to hack.
Oh wow.
It's very easy. It's like what, half an hour
Ben,
deal.
this is why we have degrees unrelated to computer science.
I'm
and
just
we are
saying,
not
it's
tech
very
nerds.
simple to hack. It's not a complicated thing. In fact, most people recommend you do hack your Vita because it unlocks a lot of things. For instance, you can overclock your Vita.
Wait,
You
what?
can undervolt it. You can use the full screen. You can rip your saves.
So you're treating it like a tiny PC.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's the right way
Hot,
to do
man.
everything, man.
Yes. So speaking of Grisaya, here's another popular series, the Grisaya trilogy. So we
Okay.
have Fruits of Grisaya. Next one is
Labyrinth?
Eden or Labyrinth first? No, Labyrinth.
Labyrinth, then Eden.
So Fruits, Grisaya, Labyrinth of Grisaya, Eden of Grisaya. All three of these games have been patched by repatch on the Vita, and they're also available on Steam.
And there's an anime for all of them.
And there's an anime for all of them.
That's right.
But I would highly recommend the visual novel, giving it a shot, because it's actually really good. It's a really good visual novel. So that is the main visual novel series. There is other stuff that I don't personally haven't played yet, so I can't give a comment on its quality.
Good.
But I've heard of their quality secondhand.
Spectrum Soft. They are one of the bigger ones as well.
Spectrum Sound they did.
They did the Persona series.
Persona isn't VN. And it's not by Spectrum Sound.
This
it's by
guy,
Atlas.
they
this
released
guy
it,
owns Persona 3, 4,
Was
and
it
5,
Golden?
and their fighting game
Was it
version, so
Golden?
don't doubt him.
Golden isn't on VNDB. And it's not made by
Wow.
Spectrum Soft, it's made by
think
Atlas.
oh wait, was it published by Spectrum Soft?
It's not published by Spectrum Soft, it's published by
Then
Atlas West.
Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong ones.
Yeah.
but I think Spectrum Soft has been.
Spectrum Soft is Science Adventure, I'm pretty sure.
Really?
I think so. Either they published it or
No,
something.
they definitely did Danganronpa. That's
Oh,
that,
yeah,
I
they
know
did
for sure.
Danganronpa. They did got Danganronpa.
Anyways, which genre do you prefer the most? Because just like anime, there's a lot of different genres for visual novels, but because it is a different platform, I guess, a different medium, I guess there are certain things that come true and don't come true. Like you have this random ass protagonist that you never see the face of in most
didn't
cases.
bring
So
one
the
more.
classic
I forgot to bring
hentai
one more.
protagonist hair.
I forgot to bring one more game.
Kind of.
I forgot to bring one more game.
What's
Because,
that?
all the visual novels we have talked. Okay, so we'll get back to your topic, but I'd like to give additional thing. So a lot of the visual novels we've been talking about, right, have an anime adaptation based on it. No matter how bad it is. For example, the Chaos Head anime, don't watch
yes,
it. Don't
yes.
watch it.
I agree.
Robotic Notes, don't watch it. It's
I
bad.
saw the first episode of Chaos Hit and 3 episodes of Robotics Notes. I stopped there and
Don't
there.
watch it. Don't watch it.
Don't
Don't
bother.
bother watching it.
It's
Yeah. So a lot.
understandable.
There are actually visual novels that don't have an anime adaptation. So for instance, I brought one over here with me today. It's called Our World Is Ended. It's not that good, but I enjoyed my time with it.
Cool.
Because it's about game dev. Plus the art is really amazing. So just look at the CGs, I guess. So I got this. This is a limited edition on. I got it also. It's relatively cheap. I bought it off Amazon.
You bought it off Amazon?
Yeah, Amazon they just sell brand new games that they can't sell at a steep discount. So this was
shit.
$20.
Wow.
The
So another one is this.
Oh, right.
A girl
There's an anime.
a girl who chants love at the bounds of this world. There's anime?
I believe so.
But it's a really, really old series from the 90s, if I'm not mistaken. And this is a
I
remake. I do not
suggest
like
you
the
watch.
story. I do not like the game. I do not like the characters. I do not like the twist. But this is a visual novel.
Wow.
So-
why do you even have it?
So was released in 2019.
Mm.
It has a 6.6 rating on my anime list, which I think tells you enough.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, so I don't like it, but it is an option. So yeah,
It exists.
I have one more visual novel that honestly just slipped my mind. It's called Root Answer.
Wait, what?
It's called Root Answer.
Is this not part of the what is it? The
It's literally like Root Answer. It's called Root Answer.
oh no.
So a square root.
So
Answer.
it is by Spike Chunsoft, if I'm not mistaken. And it is original. And it does this thing, right, where depending on the ending you get, right, like the things that preceded it would change. So for instance, cause and effect, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like in each route, right, like so for instance you're playing a visual novel, then you have route A,
Mm-hmm.
and then you go to route B. Okay, so you have route A, then you have you have the main route, then you have ending A, B, C. So let's treat it that way. Then for instance you learn in route C the history of this character, right? Then generally in route B and A you can assume that the history of the character is the same. Or like if you go to route C and then you figure out like why everything is happening, right? Like A and B, it will have technically the same like cause that causes the effect. Root Answer does not have this. So like you go in route A, right? The answer to the mystery, right, is totally different from route B. So for example,
trash.
route A, right, you go into it and it's like it's ghosts. Second one, you'd be like it's aliens. Yeah, it's just very interesting. I'm not going to comment on its quality. I don't really like it, but I can tell if someone would. But that's how it is. Spoilers, by the way.
I thought it would be part of the what was it, the shit, it slipped my mind again. The Hex series, but
Oh, I heard that's a pretty popular series also.
but I
Well,
don't
Ben,
think there's a-
it's okay. A lot of things are slipping your mind, but it ain't slipping mine. So I think it's time we wrap up this episode.
That's quick.
We have
that's
hey.
Hmm?
It's
Oh.
about an hour.
damn.
We have a somewhat stellar liquid right here. I know that it's hard for Remus to give a score, but out of 10, what would you give it? From what you've tried
I
these
would
two
rather
variations.
abstain. I can't tell. I literally can't tell. I'd rather
He
abstain.
is
I am not good at
practicing
this.
his right to remain silent.
Yes.
Ben,
Yes.
what would you rate this whiskey on a scale of 0 to 10, knowing that we've only tried it on the rocks and neat?
That's all you need to. That's all you really need to taste it.
I agree.
I think honestly 7.5, not to my liking.
I would say it's an 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that it's best enjoyed on the rocks, and you do need to dilute it down a little bit. A bit too strong in its current cask strength state, but if you can draw out the bourbon flavor, nice and delightful, but also smooth and harsh.
I don't know. It's just not my preferred flavor profile.
So that gives us a resolute 7.75. I think the Vinho Barrack and the Madeira cask would score slightly higher, although I personally enjoyed this and much better than the rest on the rocks alone. Alright, although I do think that no one else has tasted the rum cask except for myself. I do think that is the best of most of the cask strength Kavalan whiskies that are, well, lower price and more amenable to the budgets of people. So things like the Amontillado, the PX Sherry cask, they are exorbitantly expensive. For that, I think this is probably not what most people go to. I would think that a cheaper Kavalan might be a better option.
The triple sherry cask, just go for that. It's
Yeah.
It's worth the budget.
Budget and good, neat, and
Alright.
chilled. Right?
That's it. To round this off, right? Just two simple questions. First,
Yeah.
which genre of visual novels do you prefer? What, horror?
Harem.
Just play Clarinet.
Just play Clarinet.
Just play Clarinet.
Little Bastards is fine too.
Just
Eroge.
play Clarinet.
You like eroge?
Eroge.
Just play Clarinet.
Just play Clarinet.
Why?
Why? Clarinet's good. It's not my fault you're weird.
How is Clarinet nice?
Sorry? It pulls on the kokoro. Anyways, second question. Favorite VN?
Just play. Just play Clarinet. Okay, I'm to be honest. Just play Clarinet.
The Higurashi series was quite good.
I heard good things about MacLeod, but I haven't played it yet.
Oh, Mouth Love? Oh. I'm just gonna say Fate Stay
Yes.
Night.
Why am I not surprised?
Heaven's Few Route.
Just play Clarinet.
Just
Go for the true ending. Actually, don't like halfway. Don't end up at Nagisa's and like great. Then stop
That's
playing
the
after
end.
story. don't after at the end of after story like that's f***ed up. No, finish the thing. Go for the true ending.
Thanks for the censorship, but that will be at the very end note of this episode. Thank you very much for tuning in. Do like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment if
Ah, yes.
possible.
Clarinet 60 hours. Play Clarinet.
And
you
then
very
after
much
that,
for
play
watching.
Tomoyo and Tomoyo after.
Play Clarinet.
Thank you very much for watching, and
Wow,
that is the end of
Tomoyo.
this episode.
Wow.
your best girl.